So today I will be asking you some questions about your background and what obstacles did you face during your adulthood and childhood as well. So I wanted to start off by asking you, where are you from?
I'm originally from Decatur, Georgia. I lived here until I was 9. Then I moved to Athens, Georgia. I lived there until I went to college.
So my second question to you is, what college or colleges did you attend, and why did you choose those particular colleges?
I attended Howard University for my undergrad and graduate degrees. I attended Georgia State for my doctoral degree. I always knew I was going to go to an HBCU, a historically black college university, because that's just where we went in my family. My father went to an HBCU, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, my grandfather went to the HBCU. So it wasn't a matter of if, it was which HBCU you were going to attend. Florida A&M was our family school because my parents are from Florida. My mother actually went to a predominantly white institution. She went to Florida State. My father went to FAMU, and that's how they met. So I always knew I was going to go to FAM. I think during my spring break of my 11th grade year, I went on a school field trip. I was in SECME. And SECME, y'all know SECME? SECME is a science and math organization for people of color. So they took us on a college tour to Hampton and Howard. And I went to Howard, and I just got the applications for both schools. And I went on and filled them out during my senior year. Just because my mother said apply to different colleges, but I always thought it was going to be FAM. Howard accepted me in January and gave me money in January. FAMU didn't come through until May. So you know which school I went to. I went to Howard. I decided to, after I went to Howard, I graduated, I came back here and I started teaching for the Atlanta Public School System. I was a 5th grade teacher. I knew I didn't want to teach all my life. I knew I would. I actually didn't think I was going to go back and get my doctorate. I really wasn't interested in that. But then I decided to do it. So I was trying to figure out where I wanted to go. I looked at Clark. I knew Spelman didn't have a graduate school. I looked at Emory, looked at Georgia Tech. I don't think I looked at UGA. I was thinking about Columbia. But then Georgia State actually had a good program. So I decided to come to Georgia State. And that's how that worked.
Okay, so another question I wanted to ask you was, how did you survive the struggles of being stereotyped in black?
So I guess I was stereotyped on both ends. Initially by black people and by white people. Because I was one of the few black people in my classes in Athens, I was like the black representative. So if they had questions about black people, they asked me. So I really wasn't, I don't know if I was stereotyped by them or not, because they really weren't, their opinions of me weren't important. So that's why I say I was kind of maybe oblivious to what was going on. I was the accepted black person because they knew me from elementary school. So I was in their classes from elementary, middle, and high. Of course, when they would talk about, like they would try to talk about black people in front of me like I'm not black. And of course I would say something, because I would come to class with my 100% black woman shirt on. I'm cool like that, I'm chill like that, I'm black like that, I'm out. What does that mean today? You know, so of course I would have to say things about that. But I don't know, like with the stereotypes, I don't know if I started getting more stereotyped as I got older. But when I was younger, I was just kind of oblivious to it. My sister used to tell me we used to get followed around in the clothing stores. But she was older than me, so she paid attention to stuff like that. I just didn't pay attention to stuff like that. But as I got older, I'm consciously aware of the stereotypes of black people. Like, don't be the mad black woman. You know, if you have an issue, even if you have a reason to be upset, you don't want to be stereotyped as that. So you have to be calm. You have to show a lot more restraint than other people would have to, because you don't want to be put into that stereotype. Sometimes I just don't care. I'm not honest. If you stereotype me, that's on you. I'm just going to be me. But that is always something conscious in my mind. You know, am I going to care if they put me in this stereotype, or am I not going to care? And that could be a daily thing because I know what's out there. And then, you know, so I'll probably come back to that as I remember more, but I'll stop there.
I'm Alexandria Ellis, and that's the end of the first part of the interview.